Okay guys, in this video we're going to learn how to find slope from a graph. We're going to use some of the stuff that we learned last time, which is that slope is the change of y over the change of x. Well, if my y is changing, this is my y, that means I'm going up and down. That is also called a rise. And my x goes like this, left and right. That's going to be called my run. Okay, so we're going to be finding the rise over run for all of these graphs, just like you did last year. So the first thing you do is you look at the graph and you think about the slope man, right? Which one does it look like? Does it look like the positive slope, the negative slope, the undefined slope, or the zero slope? And this one looks like this one, the positive slope one, right? So I know that my slope is going to be positive, but I got to figure out the rise over run. So in order to do that, we draw a right triangle and we look at how much we go up. That's 1. I went up 1. And how much you go over. 1, 2. I went 2 to the right. Okay, and because I know that it's a positive slope, I'm not going to have any negatives in there. So I'm going to divide these two, just like we did last time. You can type it in the calculator. 1 divided by 2. So right here, 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. If you click the fraction button, it changes it to a fraction. So my slope for that graph is 1/2. Okay, let's go look at problem number 2.
Do you understand the question?
This looks like if you look at this graph, it's going down, and if we look at our slope man, which one does it look like? It looks like this one, right? And this is a negative slope, so I know that this is a negative slope because my rise is going down and over. So slope, write it down, equals the rise over the run, right? And we're going to count how much we went down. So down 1, down 2. And because I go down, it's a -2. I went down. And then over, I'm going over 1, 2 to the right. Okay, so when I divide those two, because there's a negative in there, my answer is going to be negative. Right, so divide, -2 divided by 2. And that is a -1. So my slope, and we knew, was a -1. So right here we would say that our slope equals -1. Okay, let's go do the next one. I'm going to skip problem 3. Let's go into problem number 4. What type of slope does this look like? Look at the slope man. Which one does it look like? So you know what type of slope is going to be the answer. It looks like the negative one, right? This is positive, this is negative. So it looks like the negative one because when you do the rise, you're going down instead of up and over. So again, write this down. Slope equals rise over run. How much do we go down? So let's count. Down -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. I went down 5. The negative means I went down. And I go over, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 4 to the right. So when you divide those two in the calculator, what happens? Type it in the calculator, -5 divided by 4. Make sure that you have split screen with decimals on one side and this video on the other side. So right here, I'm going to type -5 divided by 4. It gives me a decimal. If I don't want that decimal, or if my answer choices are not decimals, you're going to click this button right here, and it's going to change it into a fraction for you. So notice that they stayed the same. The answer is the same because that fraction does not reduce anymore. So it just stays like that. -5 over 4 is the slope. Okay, let's go down to problem. Let's see. Number 5. What type of slope is this? Look at the slope, man. Okay, it looks like this one, and remember we have little circles right here on this one, meaning it's a 0 slope. Okay, but how do you figure that? So if I do the slope by hand, rise over run, we're still going to count how much you rise. So from here to here, how much do you go up? 0, right? So you don't go up, there is no rise. How much did you run? 1, right? So if I put this in the calculator, what does it give you? So let's go type it in the calculator. 0 divided by 1. You should already know the answer. 0 divided by 1 is 0. So my slope is 0. Okay, but we already knew that because we memorized our slope, man, and we knew, and we knew that it was the 0 one, right? Okay, let's go look at problem number 6. And then we're going to do problem number 8. So I'm skipping a few, that's okay. What type of slope does this look like? Look at your slope, man. Which one is it? It's the positive one. So this is going to be a positive slope. I'm going to do the rise over run. So go ahead and count. How much is the rise and how much is the run? Rise is 1, 2, 3, 4. The run is 1. This is an easy division problem. What's 4 divided by 1? 4. The slope for this graph is 4. Okay, and then let's do the last one. Problem number 8. What type of slope is this? Look at the slope, man. Do you guys remember what this one is called? Because it's the one that has the nose, right? And that nose, that's a U for what? Undefined. Okay? Now let's do the math on it. Slope equals the rise over the run. Okay, how much do I rise? So from here to here, you rise 2. How much do you run? Do I go to the side at all? No, so that's 0. And I told you that if you have anything over 0, that cannot happen, right? And if you type it in the calculator, it will also tell you that it's undefined, that it cannot happen. So 2 divided by 0 tells you right there it's undefined, so my answer is undefined. Because you cannot divide by 0. Okay? If you ever find a graph, let's look at one more, just one more. If you ever find a graph that does not have any points, you need to find those points. I call them pretty points. So you have to find them. They have to be in a perfect corner like this one. There is no perfect corner here, so I would put a dot here and then find the other one that's closest to it. Right here. Here's the perfect corner. And then once you found the 2 points that you want to do, then you do the rise over run. So down and over, and you count. Down 3, -3, over 2, and that's your answer.
Okay?